if you are planning to travel to the Schengen area, specifically to France, and you want to know how to fill out the application form, right? So this is the application form. You can see that. This is specifically to France. Then this video is for you. Even though most of the Schengen countries share almost the same application form, but here I'm going to touch on the mistake some of you have been doing when it comes to the visa application filling. Is that okay? Very, very important, because this applicant here made a very simple mistake that can cause his visa denied. So that is why you need to stay here to the end of the video. Now, this is for Spain. You can see this one, right? So this is in Spanish. So that is the this one is for Spain. You can see the Schengen flag there, and then this is for France. All of them are having the same Schengen flag, right? So this is in Spanish, right? So I've already done the Spanish one. You can check the video below if you're interested in doing that. So for those of you who are going to France, get your pencil. Maybe if you have the portal, you first of all need to access the portal. That is the France portal, right? So directly, and then you fill out the information there. If you fill out the information to have your application number before you can book the appointment at the VFS portal. So I'm speaking from Ghana, so we do that through the VFS portal. After filling out the form on the that's the France portal or France online application portal, and then you go with the application number and go and book the appointment at the VFS portal. Is that okay? But this form, you have to fill this form on the France embassy portal. Is that okay? Now, number one is your surname. As on the passport, you have to make sure that the same spelling is there. This applicant made a very simple mistake, so let's check out that. And then number two is the surname at birth. So surname at birth here means that if you have a family name, former family name, and that name, is it something where if you are filling out the application form, you know that you are adding a change of name document or something like that. That's why you have to provide that name at the number two. Yes, if it's a straightforward, you don't need to put anything there. Is that okay? Okay, number three here, according to the portal, right? So number three here is your first name and what? And a given name. So if you have a first name, you have to put the first name there. Maybe your name is Isaac, and then Kwame, your name is Isaac Ojulegba. You get that thing. So you put your first name and then your other name into the number three, the box there. Now number four is your date of birth. You have to be very, very careful if you are filling out this information. Make sure that your date on your passport, your birth cert, your official documents are always the same, right? So this particular person is 24th July 1985, right? So you put in the place of birth. That is the number five. You put out the place of birth as on your passport. Is that okay? As on your passport, you put it there. Number six is the country of birth. Where have you been given birth? The country. So you put the country there. And then the current nationality. So if you are Ghanaian, you are Nigerian, you are from any other country, you are put the country there. So below the number seven, you see another portion. There's a nationality at birth. If different, then you have to put a name there. Is that okay? So nationally at birth, maybe you are a Ghanaian. So you are a Ghanaian. So assuming if you are born in the same country, that is your nationality at birth. You are Ghanaian, you are born in Ghana, then you leave it as it is. But if you are a Ghanaian, rather you are born at a different country, then you have to put the name of the country where you were born over there. I don't know. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. So number 8 here is going to talk about the sex here. Are you a male, female, or otherwise transgender? And you have to take one of these three. You have 3 options there. So you take, if you are a male, you go for the male. If you are female, and then the last one. So civil status. The civil status here means that are you single? Are you married? Divorced, widow or widower, any other thing, separated. Now, don't stay for information feeling sake. If you don't have any document to back it up, you just take anything and then move away. Be very, very careful. If you are single, you don't have any issue with that. If you are married, then make sure that there is a certificate, marriage certificate, attached to your statement, right? So if you are registered partnership, where is the document that shows that you are a registered partner? Is that okay? Separated. If you are being separated, you take that. Divorce, very, very important. If you say you are divorced, there must be a divorce certificate, right? There must be a document that shows that you are divorced. Okay, widower, death certificate, and then those things, right? Okay, perfect. Number 10 here is that parental authority. So in case if the child is below 18 years, or maybe some countries below 16 years, like another country like a UK, from 16 plus, you are being classified as an adult, or one way or the other, you can be on your own. Is that okay? So if the child is below your country minor age policy, then you have to make sure that you are providing your telephone number, your address, and then the nationality in the number 10. So if you are an aged person, then you leave it as it is. Number 11, that's a national identity number where applicable. National identity number here. If you don't have, for us in Ghana, we have a identity card. That is the Ghana card, right? So the ECOWAS card, right? So that is what we have here. If you know you are having some challenges, the name and the date of birth being different on the national identity card and the passport, my friend, don't venture. Just leave that thing as it is. Is that okay? Leave it like that. There will be no question mark over there. But if everything tallies up here, then you can put up your Ghana card or your national identity number. You can just even leave it as it is for any safety sake, right? Okay, number 12 here is the type of the travel document. Which document are you using to travel? That is what is most important. Number 12, that is the ordinary passport. The ordinary passport is the first one, the normal passport that most citizens have here, right? So the diplomatic, if you are going with the diplomatic, you can also take the second box. Service passport, you put that one. Official passport, special passport, and then any other travel documents as accepted by your country, right? Okay, number 13. So now you put a number there. So if it's a passport, you put a passport number on the number 13. Date of issue, when have you been issued that passport? You put a date there. It's on your passport. You can check that the date of issue is there, and then valid until that's the expiring date. You put that one at number 15, and then this one is issued by. You put a country there, right? You put a country over there. Which country gives you that passport? Is that okay? So if it is issued by Ghana, you put a Ghana. If it's issued by Nigeria, put a issued by UK, you put a UK there. Now, pay very close attention. Assuming you are a Ghanaian living outside your country, your passport gets expired, you go and renew it over there outside the country. Let's say you are in UK, your passport gets expired, right? You are a Ghanaian living in UK, your passport gets expired, and then you go and renew your passport in UK. That doesn't mean that it's the UK government that's giving it. That passport is authorized by a Ghana government. Is that okay? So it's Ghana that issue the passport to you. So you put a Ghana. The same applies to a different country if you are watching from a different country, right? Okay, number 17. 17 is the personal data of the family member who is. So this particular person is going for a tourist, right? So if you are being invited by another person, right? So another person in the country where you are going in the EU, right? Then you have to put the person details at number 17, right? So personal data of the family member who is, that person is a nationality. The person has let's say you are going to Spain right now. So the person who is being invited is having a Spanish passport. Is that okay? You have to make sure that you put that details at number 17, right? Okay, if you don't have anything like that, just like going for a tourist or normal visits, you leave it as it is, right? Okay, and then let's move on to the next page. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't do that. If you have any questions, to make sure that you comment under the comment section below, right? Okay, so we have a number 18 years. So 18. Yeah, so number 18 is there. So the family relationship with an EU. So if that person is a citizen of that country who is being invited by you, you have to prove the relationship between the two of you. You are going to take the bus. So after taking that bus, you have to make sure that you have a document backing it up. The word of mouth is not enough here. So if you say, okay, the person is your spouse, what shows that the person is your spouse? Most of you are in partner relationship. You are the person, maybe let's say the person is your child, then what shows? A grandchild, you have to prove those things. Is that okay? Registered partnership, dependent, ascendant. So you have to prove all those documents if you go for that option. All right. So now your applicant, listen to this very, very point. Your applicant, that is a question 19 here. So the applicant's home address and email address. They say home address and email address. Now, listen. There was a one. Is it we have been seeing a lot of these refusals letter, and then how we can also consult them for them to have their visa approved. So one of them was that not even one, more than one or two, three. We've seen this mistake, especially to UK. So some of you have been making a mistake whereby if you pick your bank statement, you see that maybe your bank statement you used to live at Accra, so you can replace that Accra by your city. So you are there, and then later you move to a different city. Is that okay? So maybe if you are filling the application, so let's say you are in Accra right now. So you register your bank with the details in Accra. Later you move to a different city, like a Cape Coast or Kumasi or anything, any part of the Ghana. Now, if you are filling the application, they say your home address. Your home address, you put your current location, which is let's say Kumasi. You put your current location over there, and then the email, you put the email there. Now, if you print your bank statement is going to have your old date as in Accra, right? Your old residence as in Accra. That's the home address on it. So that way, it's never possible. Your visa will be denied. We've seen this thing on many occasions. Is that okay? It will be denied. So if that is the case, you have to maintain either the old date as on the Ghana card, as on the bank statement, or you have to update your bank statement to your current location. It's never possible. You are trying to go to someone's country, you are trying to move from, that's an international movement. So you have to dance to the music that they are playing. So what I mean by that, you have to abide by the laws and the rules that is governing. There's no way your home address will be different from the address on your bank statement. Then that is a criminal offense in one way or the other. Is that okay? So you have to check that very carefully. Make sure that everything. That is why you need to book a consultation if you are interested. I'll leave a link down below. You can click on that. Of course, personal discussions come with a fee, right? So if you're interested in that, you can just click on the link below to book a consultation at the fee. It's not even up to $15, so you can convert that, right? I think it's $24 or something of that. Okay. Then question 20. That is a resident in a country other than a country of the current nationality. So in this case, what that means here is that, okay, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm living in Ghana. So you just take no. You are not living in different country rather than your country of nationality. Is that okay? Now the other way around, okay, if I'm a Ghanaian living in UK for instance, then it means that you tick yes. Is that okay? You are going to take the bus, yes. You provide your temporary resident card number there, and then the expiring date valid onto you put that one there. You only do that if you are legally living in that country with a temporary resident permit, right? Okay. Now, what is your occupation? You put the occupation over there, the question number 21, and then 22 is most of this, and the one that comes with the asterisks are very important. So you make sure that you don't skip that. So 21 and 22 are these come with the asterisk. So 22 is the employer, right? So the employer and the employer's address and telephone number. Is that okay? So your employer, if you are working for a company, you have to put the company details over there. That's their email and then the contact number. Is that okay? If you're a student, the educational establishment, you have to make sure that you put all those in the institution's name and then the auditors at that point. If you are self-employed, you have your personal address, you have to put everything there, as well as your email and then the contact number. Now, what is the purpose of your journey? So the purpose here is for your journey. If it's a tourism, you just need to take the first bus, leave it like that. Is it for business? You take the second one. Visiting a family, you take the second one. Culture, sports, official visit, medical reasons, study, airport transit, you take the bus as it applies. Okay. All right, so question number 24 here, we have the additional information on a purpose of stay. Why? This is where you have to answer that. Why are you going there? Right? So if you have any details explanation on why we are going there, you can say, I'm traveling to France for a tourism. You can put that in there to so and so landmark, so and so, anything that the reason why you are going, you have to put that at question number 24. Now 25, the member state of main destination. So okay, if I move from Ghana right now, where am I going to land? Okay, I'm going to France, right? So you are going to land on France, so you put the France there. The member state of the main destination, you put the France on that bus, and other member states destination if applicable. Is that okay? So maybe okay, I'm going on business trip, so let's say you are landing on France, that is the number one, and then maybe from there you move to, let's say Poland, Germany, and then different countries. Is that okay? So you have to put those things in that box here. Now 26 says that member state of the first entry, where are you landing first? Right? So this is for France, these are from, so France. Is that okay? You put a France there. So the two sides, I mean France, right? Okay, 27 is the number of entries requested. So how many entries? Single entry, two entries, or what? Multiple entries. So I don't know if you have any issue with a single entry, multiples, and then two entry. Let me know in the comment section. Single entry here means that, okay, a quick one, this is a brief one. It means that if you are giving a single entry, you can move from your home country to France. Once you enter the France, you can move around all the 29 Schengen areas. Is that okay? But the moment you are out of the Schengen areas, you can't go again. It doesn't matter if your visa has expired or it hasn't expired. Is that okay? Once you are out of the Schengen area, you are not permitted to enter again. Is that okay? All right, perfect. So two entry means that you can go outside the country, just like your home here. You are getting out of the room and coming back for the second time. That's the twin. Multiple, you can go the number of times that you wish. You can. Is that okay? You can go outside the Schengen. That's your room here. For instance, you can go outside your room, come back as many times that you wish, provided that you are still within the validation of your visa. Right? Okay. Now, intended. We have intended date of arrival of the first intended stay in the Schengen area. So which date are you prefer to land at France? That's the intended date here. So that is the special date that you are landing on that country here. And then the departure, when are you leaving the Schengen area? Obviously how they stated that. Intended date of departure from the Schengen area after the first intended stay, right? Is that okay? So when are you intended to return? And make sure that you don't do overstay. If you do overstay, it's your own palaver, right? 28 years. So this is where this applicant made a mistake here, right? If you are still here till the end of this video, this one, thumbs up. So how are you going to answer this question? Fingerprint collected previously for the purpose of applying for a Schengen visa, right? Now the first box says no, yes, date if no, number of visa if no. So the mistake he did here was that he applied the visa previously and then got refused, right? So at the time of applying this visa here, he chose what? No. So meanwhile there was a fingerprint that was made. You can't run away. Even if you run away, you can't hide. They have every information in their system. Is that okay? So maybe, but according to him, it was a mistake, right? It was a mistake that he made over you by choosing no. Your fingerprints are already in the system, right? So it's already in the system. You have to state a date, and then if you know the date, a number of visa, if you know, right? So the last time, it has nothing to do with the outcome of your visa. Some of the Schengen, right, even if your fingerprint has been, I will confirm that if your fingerprint has been collected for some few months, you don't need to do the biometrics again. You don't need to do that again. Are you getting it? That is just the reason why. It has nothing to do. Every visa is being counted separately. They examine every visa on different occasions, not because of your previous visa. Once you're able to correct yourself and then do other stuff, you are free to go. Is that okay? So make sure that you choose wisely. Now 29 say entry permit for the final country of destination where applicable. You see, do you have any permit to go to a different country or other stuff? And then here, if you have a permit, you provide who issued you that permit to move to that country. Is that okay? You provide that the valid from and then the expiring date. Now 30 says that it's also a very mandatory question. So surname and the first name of the inviting persons in the member states, right? If not applicable, provide a hotel and then the temporary accommodation in the member state. So this particular person is going to, is it Orient Port Versailles? That is the French word. So it's one of the hotel in Paris, right? So of course he was going on a tourist visa. Yeah, but if someone is invited, a family member, you have to put the person details there. So the name of the person, the address, is that okay? And then you put all those things over there, right? So that is it. You put the address and then the telephone number into the box, right? Okay, so 31. So name and the address of the invited company, they all comes on that. So if you are going on a company, so maybe you are going on a business, a company is expecting to meet you, or an organization, you provide a name and address of that company. Is that okay? Of course, and then their telephone number, right? You have to do that at the 31. So 32 years cost of traveling and living during the applicant stay is covered by. Okay, I'm going on tourist. Who is going to sponsor you? Right? Is it you yourself? But my best advice for a first-time travelers is that if you are traveling on tourist visa, make sure that you fund everything by yourself, right? So make sure that you fund everything by yourself. Is that okay? Don't. Unless other way around, being a reward, your dad or your mom is sponsoring you to go on a tour. You see, the reason being is that if on many occasions people have been getting refused on this on the sponsored, right? The reason being is that you are not financially stable and then you want to travel outside the country, and unless there's some tangible reason behind why somebody is sponsoring your trip, right? They'll just give it to you that you are not going to return again. Is that okay? You didn't develop a financial stability that shows that when you go, you can come back. Right? Somebody is sponsoring you on everything. Unless that is a reward, right? Right? You have to know how to draft the cover letter to suit your case. Is that okay? So be very careful if you want somebody to sponsor you on such a trip. So this person is being sponsored by himself, so by the applicant. So the means of a support, you choose cash. You have a cash there, prepaid accommodation, because that is where he has already booked a reservation. Is that okay? So if somebody is going to accommodate you, so you can choose that, and then prepaid transportation, right? You have access to all these things. On the other side, so if by a sponsor, you have to make sure that you take the sponsor, you take that portion there. By what means, right? You provide a means in which your sponsor is going to support your trip. Now 33 says that send name and the first name of the person filling the application form, right? So that's 33. Filling the application form. If it's different from the applicant, very perfect and straightforward. If you can't fill this form and then you want somebody to assist you in doing that, you put the person name there. Right? The person name, it has nothing to do with you. No one is gonna call you for this and that and then make sure that you also know the person who is to support you. So that person details has to be there. and then the address and the email of the person, as well as what the telephone number. So we are almost done. So yes, we are done. This is the latter part. Right? The last page, that is the boss there. So you see what mistake this person also did here is that, so the last boss is, so I am, you have to read that this is a declaration, so you have to make sure that you understand the content before you move forward here. So I am aware that the visa fee is not refunded if the visa was refused. Simple. One or two reasons, if your visa was refused, you are not going to. Why? How can they survive? They also pay a service fee. They have to pay workers and other stuff, because you didn't do your thing where your visa got denied. You want them to give you your money back. No. It's never done anyway. So make sure that. So applicable. Is it this? The next box is applicable in case of a multiple entry visa is the issue. I'm aware of the need to have adequate travel medical insurance for my first stay and any subsequent visits to the territory of member state. Look at the implications of the multiple entry. Is that okay? You have to make sure that you have the adequate travel medical insurance. So your insurance for the first entry. Is that okay? For the first stay in your country. So after staying in the Schengen area for the first time, then you are out of the Schengen area. And then they say, hey, make sure that your medical covers it, right? Your travel medical covers it or not. And any subsequent visit to the territory of member state. So anytime you are going there, you make sure that the insurance covers your journey, right? So you have to be very, very careful if you are selecting the multiple entries, and then how you can arrange your schedule when it comes to the travel insurance. Now the last but that is the place and the date. So this paper is automatically in French, right? So if you are filling the information on the portal, make sure that you change that to your language of understanding, the one that you can comprehend. You read it and then understand, then fill out the information, and then you print it out. Is that okay? Of course, if you are going there, you have to print it in French and then submit it to the embassy. Now, place and a date here. So the place is exactly where you are doing the submission. So we are in Accra, Ghana here. So ours is going to be the Accra, right? So you choose the Accra here. And then the date is not the date when you are filling the information, right? So mostly it's the date that you want to travel, right? Your appointment date. Is that okay? So you can put that appointment date there and then put it over there. And then the last one is going to be you sign, right? The day you are filling out the information and then doing everything, you fill everything and then you submit it to the BLS. Is that BLS? No, VFS, right? I don't know where you have been doing your sub. Maybe one embassy is handling everything. I don't know about your country, but that particular day that you are doing your submission, you put the date in the box, and then you do everything, and then you sign at the second box. That is the signature of the applicant. Save journey to your visa application. So you can see that is a receipt, right? So that is a receipt here. You can see. So that is the receipt of the person to the France. You have the reference number, that is the application number, your last name, first name, and the other name, date of birth is there. So require supporting document to submit to your application. All right. So if you have any question, we are available for a consultation, or you can just comment down below if you have any special. All the best in your visa application.